I've had quite enough with mysterious chanting, game. April 5th, 1963. Christopher, these may very well be my last notes in this regard. I'm afraid Catherine has already realized what I've been doing here all the time. In vain I've tried to explain myself, and I know what might have been the outcome had I kept insisting. If you could only believe me, Christopher, because I know you intend well, but I can feel the doubt in your heart. Put your rational thoughts aside for a moment and yield to the facts. If I can do it, someone who has constantly taught in the wonders of science ever since his childhood, then so can you. I'm hoping that you will contemplate the possibility of some truth in my assessments once you read about my latest findings. It is imperative that you carry on with this task. Catherine is watching my every step, and I'm afraid she'll take strong measures if I do anything out of the ordinary. Did you know? She's been talking to other doctors besides you, and psychiatrists. My God, Christopher, I fear that she's willing to shut me up in a madhouse. How is it possible that all of you won't believe me? As if what happened with my own son wasn't enough proof! In my adjacent notes, you will find an exhaustive essay on the origin of the curse and what should be done to eliminate it. I know the whole amulet deal must sound crazy, but you have to trust me. The tribe has been doing this for centuries. Are you going to forfeit all that knowledge and experience? They faced a god, Christopher, and lived to tell it. Now it's our turn to live and tell the story. And Christopher, if we fail to remove the curse and anything happens to me, I want you to do it. And I have my complete mental faculties whilst I'm asking you this. It has been becoming more and more dangerous lately. Do not hesitate. There is simply no other way, and you would be the only one left who can do it. Promise me. Promise me you will. I know I'm asking you to become a cold-hearted murderer, but Christopher, our lives, and possibly many others, are at stake. Isn't that enough to forget your vow? James. March 26th. The folklore of the Dalmar is just as disturbing as their vicious attacks. If my researches had been correct, then I could have stumbled upon one of the most ancient tribes ever known to humanity, dating back to the era where the so-called Bushmen inhabited South Africa. We're talking over 20,000 years ago. How could any civilization manage to survive all this time without ever hunting or expanding? Just being there? I don't dare to imagine what 200 centuries of inbreeding and cannibalism could do to people. I've seen them, and they can't be called humans. What is most unsettling is their mystical background, impossible to be considered a religion due to a complete lack of basic rules and maturity. The only simple premise is to keep an evil entity at bay which has been stalking them since the beginning of time, or the Dark Ages. At this point in my research, I had to stop and consider the implications. The Dalmar actually thought of their later period, the systematic slaughtering of mankind, as good times, or golden ages. I thank the Lord that this tribe never managed to grow, as I seriously think the region, perhaps even the entire continent, would have suffered terrible consequences. This history is so ancient that it makes me feel dizzy. The vengeful god, which is incidentally referred to as Dolhom, would control the Dalmar via its many incarnations. Most of the time it would be a tall, feline-like figure, always dwelling in shadows, and slaying any villager who would unwittingly come close. Some say its deadly claws would not only penetrate your body, but your soul. The purpose of the harassment is unclear. It would look as if the Dalmar were simply toys to play with. It seems then that the Dalmar managed to free themselves from its clutches with the help of an amulet, or charm, effectively forcing the entity to retreat. The most curious thing is how this amulet was conceived. Two main elements were required to perform the exercising of this evil, and they had to be strictly related to each other, one representing the victim, and another representing the victimizer. To achieve this, something related to each one was used. While I'm not sure what is referred to as the victim, I think it can be concluded that anything belonging to any villager would have served, given that they were all victims. As for something representing the victimizer, that may have been more complicated. What could possibly be related to a god? This god in question. Next, these elements had to be mixed with a rare medicinal plant native to the region, which apparently had the properties to blend both items together, as long as they were not too solid. Finally, a branch of a particular tree whose name escapes me now had to be used as the holder of the blended items. It is on this item that a mysterious blessing was performed. It should be noted that all the elements had to be organic. The Dalmar successfully released themselves from the control of the vicious god with an intense ritual that seems to have taken days to perform. In the end, the amulet was so powerful that the entity surrendered to their will and offered divine power in exchange for sacrifices. But the Dalmar wouldn't allow themselves to be fooled. They decided that getting rid of this evil once and for all would be the wisest thing to do. So they managed to capture its spirit and store it someplace where they could guard it for ages to come. My God. My God. The evil spirit was cast into a mask, trapped inside the confines of its blessed wood for eternity. A mask which its description bears uncanny resemblance to... Who am I fooling? It is that mask. The Dalmar would keep this spirit at bay via regular rituals, involving the bloody sacrifices in the aforementioned amulet. The last book I read today about the Dalmar, in reality 2 small paragraphs as amusing bonus reading in a book loved by the museum, has revealed to me something that left me completely paralyzed with terror. I've always wondered since I began studying them what made the Dalmar savagely slaughter neighboring tribes without any apparent reason. Was it a violent, raw instinct? Did they feel threatened in any way? Was it by a perverse and ungodly sense of enjoyment? No. It was fear. Fear that someone else would take the mask and release the god. They killed to protect themselves from falling again into the Dark Ages. If they went to such extreme lengths to avoid this, then what did they have to endure when the entity was free? The rituals haven't been performed on the mask for years now. What have I done? What have I done? Oh my. I was shocked to learn about this evil. Terrible as it was, I still wondered to what extent James Blackwood went to get rid of the curse. Okay, I think that's all the notes. Is this the wood he was talking about? Guess I might need that. So it sounds like I have to be the one to exercise the... God, that creeps me out. Nothing else here. Anything at all here while I'm thinking about it? Nothing? Can't take the pipe. Okay, nothing else I can take here. So it seems my path is clear. I have to exercise that mask. I have to push the entity back. Or else I kind of have the feeling it's going to take me next. This game is so creepy, but so effective in its story. After reading all that, I hate to even be in this house. 2 p.m.
Jerry, it's me.
Michael, I was about to call you.
Why?
I've been thinking about what you told me, and you could be onto something there. But I'm worried about your safety now. This could be dangerous.
What do you mean by dangerous?
Well, let's suppose you're right, and James Blackwood is indeed hiding somewhere inside the house. He's a madman, a murderer, and your life could be in danger.
Jerry, if James Blackwood is still alive, he'd be nothing more than a harmless, decrepit old man. I don't think I'd have any problem outdoing him.
And what if he is armed?
I'm willing to take that risk. He surely knows I'm here by now. What if he's waiting for me to leave so that he can escape? I can't miss this opportunity.
The opportunity of what, for Christ's sake?
Good question.
Knowing. I'm already too much into this, Jerry. And if I don't know what happened inside this house, I won't be able to sleep again.
You're obsessed. You were supposed to finish your book, get some rest, and now look at this. What are you going to say to your editor?
Who knows? Maybe this will
Fuck my editor.
inspires me to write that ending. I'm sorry. I can't leave this now, Jerry. It's too late.
I can't believe this. I don't understand you. Doesn't the possibility of spending another night in that house with a creepy old man hiding in the basement scare you?
Yes!
I know what you're trying to do. Goodbye, Jerry.
Michael? Michael! It's dangerous, do you hear me? Dangerous! You have to leave that place!
I'll keep you informed.
Damn, I was hoping Jerry would have more. I was hoping Bailey would have more for me. Ugh. Oh. We just missed somebody at the front gate. If it's that damn electrician, I'm gonna... Freaking murder somebody at the local power company. Notice of eviction, October 12th, 1976. Mr. Michael Arthate, due to irregularities during its acquisition process carried over by Mr. Jerry P. Carter, you are ordered to immediately leave the property known as Blackwood Manor. If you fail to comply, legal proceedings will be enforced against you. You have 2 days to effectively abandon the property after the issuing of this notice. We take no responsibility for the courier service. A police officer is due to arrive at the Blackwood Manor on Tuesday, October 15th. Should you be present, you will be immediately taken into custody without further notification? What the heck did Jerry do? So that was the reason why Jerry wanted me to leave the house so badly. I bitterly realized that he wouldn't come for me, and that it was up to me to find a way to leave the house. Oh, Jerry! Jerry, you motherfucker! Ugh! Oh, I'm gonna talk to him right now. But first I'll save, because I haven't done it in a while. I didn't want to speak with Jerry after the incident. I felt the same way ever since. Okay, so... well, we're in a fine mess here. Apparently Jerry had fucked things up with the estate. That's why he was trying to get me to leave. Ugh. Well, now what? Well, it seems like we've got our work cut out for us. I don't have a lot of time before the cops show up, and then it's... obviously, they'll take me away. So... I do think, however, that we've made some more progress, and I think this is a great time to call this a recording. Tune in next time, folks. I believe we're getting near the end. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. It's Kronos006, signing off.